Hey everyone, welcome back to English Podcast Studio, the podcast where we get real about what's going on in our heads. I'm Emily.
And I'm Danielle. Today we're diving into a topic that touches everyone, whether you realize it or not: mental health and wellness. We're going to unpack the stigma, share our own stories, and explore tools that have actually helped us.
And we want you to be a part of this. If you're listening on YouTube, drop a comment right now. What's one thing you do for your mental health every week?
Let's start with the elephant in the room. Why is it still so hard to talk about mental health?
I think part of it is that we're still unlearning this whole tough it out culture. Especially for guys, there's that message: be strong, don't cry, don't feel too much.
Right, and it doesn't help that social media just shows highlight reels. Everyone's smiling while you're sitting there thinking, why do I feel like crap?
Facts. For me, it wasn't until I hit burnout in my job that I even acknowledged something was wrong. Panic attacks at 3 a.m. That was the wake-up call.
Wow. For me, it was more subtle, just feeling numb for weeks. I'd scroll for hours just to avoid thinking. It's wild how your brain can protect you while also hurting you.
Anyone listening, if this is resonating, leave a comment or DM us. You're not alone in this.
Let's talk about solutions. What's actually helped you manage your mental health?
Okay, top 3 things: journaling, therapy, and walking.
Seriously, walking outside is so underrated.
Yes, movement changes everything. I'm a huge fan of guided meditations, too.
And we both love therapy, but we also know it's not accessible to everyone. So, what are some free or low-cost ways to take care of your mind?
Podcasts like this one, community groups, even YouTube, there's great content out there. And honestly, just texting a friend, "Hey, I'm not okay," that's powerful. We asked you all on Instagram to share your mental health questions. Let's get into a few.
This one says, how do I talk to my family about my depression when they don't believe in it? Wow, big one.
So important, my advice: start with I statements. Like, I've been feeling really low lately and I need support. Try not to expect full understanding right away.
Yes, and seek a support system outside of them if you need to. Friends, online communities, even support groups. Another one, is it okay to take medication? The short answer? Yes. Full stop. All right, fam, we covered a lot today: stigma, solutions, and stories. But the most important takeaway? You're not alone, and your feelings are valid.
And if you're struggling right now, pause the podcast and just breathe. Inhale, hold, exhale. That's enough for today. We'd love to hear from you. What's your mental wellness non-negotiable? Okay, so we unpacked a lot about mental health, burnout, anxiety, therapy, all of it.
Now conversation is all about what happens when we start tuning into not just the mind, but also the body. Because let's be real, the two are way more connected than we give them credit for.
Totally. The phrase "listen to your body" isn't just a yoga cliche, it's biology, psychology, even survival. We've got stories to share, science to drop, and practical stuff you can try at home.
And as always, we want you involved. Comment below. Do you notice a difference in your mood when you move your body? We'll be reading some answers later in the show.
Let's start here. You ever notice how when your brain's on fire, like anxiety, racing thoughts, stress, your body feels it too?
Yes, my chest gets tight, my stomach's in knots, and I clench my jaw like I'm trying to chew concrete. Laughs.
For me, it's my back, like someone tied a knot between my shoulder blades and just yanked. What's wild is that those symptoms aren't in our heads. They're very real.
Exactly. It's called the somatic response. Your nervous system can't always tell the difference between real danger and emotional stress. So it dumps cortisol, tightens muscles, messes with digestion, all of it.
And that's why stress relief isn't just meditation and affirmations. Sometimes you have to get physical to let your nervous system chill out.
You ever had a moment where your body basically forced you to slow down?
Oh yeah, a few years ago, I was hustling hard, working 60-hour weeks, skipping meals, drinking way too much coffee. I ignored all the signs: fatigue, headaches, irritability. Then one day, I blacked out in the shower, just fainted. That was my body waving the red flag like, "You done yet?"
Whoa, I had something similar, but it crept up slower. Chronic neck pain, blurry vision, brain fog. I thought I had some weird neurological thing. Turned out I was severely dehydrated and not sleeping more than 4 hours a night.
Y'all, your body whispers before it screams. If something feels off, check in. Don't gaslight yourself into thinking you're being dramatic.
Let's break it down. How can your physical routine actually boost your mental health?
Okay, science mode. Exercise releases endorphins and dopamine. But it's not just about lifting weights or running a marathon. Even a 15-minute walk can elevate your mood. It literally shifts your brain chemistry.
And sleep. Oh man, the biggest mood stabilizer on earth is 8 hours of solid sleep. If I sleep poorly, I'm 10x more anxious the next day.
Nutrition too. I used to skip breakfast all the time, and then I'd wonder why I felt anxious and jittery. Turns out blood sugar crash mimic panic attacks.
Let's give the people some real talk. Mental health starts with your calendar and your plate, not just your therapist.
Alright, we ran a poll on our YouTube and Instagram this week. We asked, when you're feeling low, what helps more, doing something physical or talking it out? Results are in. 46% said physical movement, 41% said talking to someone, 13% said neither eyes shut down. I feel that last one hard. Sometimes it's both or neither. But here's what's powerful. A lot of people want to move. They just don't know where to start.
That's why small actions matter. A quick stretch, standing up, splashing cold water on your face. Anything to break the freeze response.
Let's go deeper on this. Movement. Not just workouts, but dancing in your room, taking stairs, stretching in bed. Yes, I started doing morning mobility during the pandemic. Just 5 minutes of joint circles, breathing, and light yoga. It changed my mornings completely.
I started boxing, which honestly doubled as therapy. There's something cathartic about hitting a bag and sweating out the tension.
And you don't need a gym. YouTube has everything. Shout out to Yoga with Adriene and Fitness Blender. Y'all saved us.
We challenge our listeners right now. After this episode, get up and move for 5 minutes. Stretch, wiggle, whatever. Just reconnect.
Let's get nerdy for a sec. The gut-brain connection. Ever heard of your second brain?
Yep, that's your gut. It has its own nervous system, and it communicates constantly with your brain. That's why when you're stressed, you lose your appetite or get stomach aches. And gut health affects serotonin. Around 90% of it is made in your digestive tract. So if your gut's inflamed, your mood might be too.
So we're not saying eat clean as a trend. We're saying your mood might actually depend on what you had for breakfast.
For real, I started eating more fermented foods. Kimchi, yogurt, kefir, and my brain fog seriously improved. I had to cut back on caffeine. I love coffee, but it made my anxiety spike. Switched to matcha and haven't looked back. Can we normalize rest as a mental health strategy?
Please, not every hour needs to be productive. Rest isn't lazy, it's repair. Burnout isn't a badge of honor. Say that again. Even naps are good for mental clarity and mood regulation. 20-minute power naps are legit. And don't forget active rest like reading, drawing, nature walks. Rest doesn't mean scrolling TikTok for 3 hours and calling it recovery.
Yeah, doom scrolling is mental drain, not rest.
Here's one. I feel anxious but hate exercising. Is there a middle ground?
Absolutely. You don't need to go full CrossFit. Try Tai Chi, swimming, or even just deep breathing paired with movement. It's about finding what your body enjoys.
Another one. I feel guilty for resting. How do I unlearn that? That's a big one.
Guilt comes from conditioning, capitalism, hustle culture, perfectionism. Remind yourself, you are not a machine. Productivity doesn't define your worth.
Let's drop a rapid-fire list habits we use to stay connected to both mind and body. Ready? Morning sunlight. 10-minute walk after meals. Drinking water before coffee. Journaling with a body scan. Tech-free meals. Cold showers. Stretching before bed.
I'd add, turning off notifications. Breathing breaks every hour. Eating colorful foods. Laughing on purpose. Touching grass. Literally.
Yes, touch the grass. Hug a tree. You're not above the earth. Earlier this week, we asked holistic therapist and wellness coach Dr. Leela Santos to send us a voice note. Here's what she said.
Hi, Emily and Daniel. I love what you're doing with the show. When it comes to wellness, I tell my clients, think of your mind and body as dance partners. One leads, the other follows. When you care for your body, feed it, rest it, move it, your mind has more room to breathe. And when you care for your mind, challenge it, calm it, express it, your body reflects that balance. It's not a competition, it's a partnership.
That was beautiful. Dr. Santos, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on for a full episode.
So let's wrap this up. We're not chasing perfection here. We're chasing harmony, mind and body aligned, not overwhelmed.
Takeaway of the day? Small actions, repeated daily, make a massive difference. Breathe, move, rest, nourish, reflect.
Next episode, we're talking about relationships and emotional boundaries. How the people in your life affect your wellness more than you think.
Until then, drop us a comment. What's one small habit that's made a big difference in your mind-body balance?
And as always, be kind to your mind and your body. You need both.